Hey everyone, I'm Carly. I'm a cross stitcher, a knitter, a spinner, and a natural dyer. My pronouns are they, them, and this is my floss tube. Hello. It's been a minute. Yeah, I'm happy to be back with a WIP parade today. I am pet sitting and house sitting right now, and I brought all my WIPs with me. Um, I kind of took a break from stitching for a while just because I was still getting oriented to the new space where I'd moved to and like spending time at my place and my partner's place. I now have a lighting situation in both locations, so that's great. I think I got to a point where I was like, I need to stitch. Um, so I ended up just starting a ton of things this summer. And it feels really good. I was starting to feel anxious about like the amount of patterns I had and the amount of fabric I had and the fact that I wasn't starting anything new. Um, I think it sort of relates to like things that are going on at work. And I was like, oh, well, this is something that I can like address the backlog of. Um, so I have a lot to show you. I completely forgot to bring any of my finishes with me. And I also have a lot of knitting and like paper crafts that I've been doing. But I'll probably show that in another video. So this is just WIPs. WIP parades got me through this summer. A lot of my work ended up being like kind of not menial, but just like repetitive data entry. And so I always had a floss tube going, and July was like a really heavy time for the data entry, which is perfect because that's what everyone was doing their WIP parades. I've started watching a lot of new to me floss tubes. I think one that I like binged hardcore was Cam the Stitcher. She's delightful. Check her out. There's a lot of other people I've been watching too, but like Cam helped me survive July. So that was great. If you hear any like woofs or snuffles in the background, that is Milo, who we affectionately also call Pete. He's a very anxious doggy, and somebody walked by the house and was having a conversation, so he's upset. And then somebody else closed their door, and so he's feeling a lot of feelings about that. But yeah, all right. Last thing before I start showing you what I've got, look at my shirt. My partner got it for me in Oregon. It's us. That's me. Okay, let's go. The first WIP I will show you is one that I have been working on most recently, and it is very, very close to a finish. I think a lot of people have started selling this one actually from my like just hi Pete, what did you do? You didn't see this little nose in the if you use that voice, he pees. You gotta be careful. I forget. Okay. This is Plum Street Samplers Jack's Bash. And when did I start this? I actually have my notebook with me so I can check, just out for my own curiosity. I started this in 2022, January 2022. So she's been with me for a minute. And that's okay, because she's a delight. Let's see, let me get her out of here. La la la. This is on a 32 count Lugana from Fortnite. Don't ask me about my margins. I don't know what to tell you. I am just about done with this. I finished the 1/1 letters down here last night, and now I'm working on this like sawtooth. It's essentially backstitch, and I'm just kind of figuring out, do I want to do like one long stitch for each of these little guys, or kind of break it up a little bit so that it's tighter. Yeah, I'm just playing around with that, and I've got to do that under the letters, the top row of letters, and then the very bottom row of letters of the alphabet, and then it's done. Something that was really fun, I'll show you in another piece. I've been playing around with blending, like making my own blends, and that's what this color is here. This is like two separate flosses, and I was able to use that like throughout like the trees, I think somebody's hair. Also, look at this teeny tiny 1/1 acorn. Originally I thought it was like a platter with some like fancy jelly, like a jello mold and a little something on top, but I'm pretty sure it's an acorn. That was so fun. I love stitching 1/1 on Lugana. Um, I I was sort of like wishing that I had stitched this piece on linen because it just, I don't know, it seems like more of a linen piece to me. I don't really know what that means, but that's what I was feeling until I got to these letters. And 1/1 on Lugana, oh, such a delight. So very close to a finish, hoping I can get it done this month in October. Very appropriate. There's also mosquitoes in here, so I'm trying to deal with that. All right, Jack's Bash by Plum Street. Next, I started this one like the other day. I every year for the past 2 years have made my mom a prairie schooler Santa, and I had my partner choose which one I was going to stitch this year. So I try to like theme it for the year if I can. And big part of my life this year was my partner, and she met my family and they love her. So I was like, well, why don't you pick it? So I am doing this one, the sunflower one. Sunflowers are my favorite flower, and my mom knows that. And whenever I come home, she has a vase of sunflowers in the room that I stay in, which is so sweet. So this is a 32 count linen. I can't remember the name of it, but this is what I have so far. So I've like outlined the whole coat. I have to fill in the birdhouse and this little doodad, fill in all this red, and then like add his face and the sunflowers. So, oops. This is where we are. Why does it look, is it backwards? No. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that one's been fun. I had been doing so much 1/1 stitching that doing 2/2, I was like, is this right? But yeah, that one's, I really enjoy it. Okay. Next I have, yes. This is one I think I got from eBay a long time ago. There was a period in my life where I was like all over eBay, trying to get like out of print patterns or ones that like I didn't see other people stitching. This is called Merry Millennium by Homespun Elegance, and the photo's a little bit dark, but it's just Santa flying, and he has this, it did come with this star, which is rusted to heck, so I might need to get someone to paint it for me. But yeah, this one is really fun. It's also a lot of fill-in. I'm stitching this on, also looks like a 32 count linen. I believe it's the same one I used for, I want to say for Octopus's Garden. But this is what I have so far. Just, I've got his hat and part of his body. And I'm using some fancy flosses. I'm using Campfire by Classic Colorworks. And I have remembered to not do the loop start with my fancy flosses on this one, so you can see the variegation, because that is something I forget to do often. I'll show you an example of that soon when we get to it. But this one I just love, and since I'm a millennial, it's like, well, I don't really remember New Year's Eve 1999, but I was there, so there we go. Another Santa. Wow, I have started a lot of Santas. Or I guess this is more like winter holiday / Christmas. But there is a Santa on here. Prairie Schooler, Comfort Stitching, Nordic Holiday. I fell in love with this like before I started stitching. I scoped it out on eBay as well. It's the cardstock, and I am just obsessed with it. The most similar piece I've stitched like this is Hocus Pocus, also by Prairie Schooler. So rather than do these individual guys, I'm doing it all on one piece of 32 count Lugana. I have had some issues with things lining up, so that's why there's like my black thread kind of stitched throughout. But I've been deciding, like, because this is all that's left of this piece. I didn't cut this to size, but I knew I could fit everything on there. And if I stitch a border around each of them, it'll kind of like mirror the Hocus Pocus piece. Any cuts in this video are because the dog has graduated from woofs to full-on barks. What was I saying? I'm putting borders around these because Hocus Pocus has some borders on theirs. I also really like the borders around these, the ornaments, so I want to mirror that. That's the plan. There's a lot of math involved in this for no reason, but it's a really good travel piece. All right. Let's see. Okay, we've got another Prairie Schooler. Oh, we've got a few in here. The bag is breaking. Okay. Oh, this is one of the first patterns I bought, I think. And I have stitched this one. This is Prairie Schooler STU. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. I know. I've stitched this one. You want to see? But I really bought it for this one because if you know me, you know I love a moon with a face and a sun with a face. And this has both. Back when I was making TikToks, I mapped out like the order that I would stitch this in to the like chorus of the song TikTok by Kesha. Because I used to make TikToks of my stitching and like set it to music, like progression ones. And yeah, then I stopped doing that. So I was like, well, it's time to start it. So I did. And it's on a 32 count Lugana from Fortnite. I'm trying to use up all the like scraps of fabric I have and all of the like, fabric I currently own. I'm like sick of Lugana in a lot of ways, except for 1/1 stitching. So I'm trying to make space for new things. All right, this is what I have so far. I was off and had to restitch this border because I'd already filled in everything here. So my margins are really tight, but it's surprising to me how little this is. I'm like, is that right? And I don't remember how big the other piece was. So the other letter I stitched. So I think it's gonna be okay. I feel like I counted, but if it's not, then I just get to spend more time with it. Next, I have Anna's Bird by the Good Housewife. I hear a couple pronunciations of that. I was originally going to start this for the Flip D the Bird Sal in 2021. I even took a selfie of me flipping the bird while holding this pattern, and I never did it. So I've started it, and I just think it's so funky and cool, and this is what I have so far. It's on a leftover piece of, I want to say 18 count black Ada. Oh my god. Woo! That's so funny. Clearly haven't looked at this since I started it. But I haven't stitched on black Ada since 2021, like early 2021, because it was hard for me. But I think I have a better lighting setup now, and I'm a better stitcher than I was back then, so it's working out fine. I also, gosh, I've got a lot of things in here. This is another Good Housewife. It's called Home Sweet Home. I might have to leave off the text, as pretty as it is, because I'm stitching on a very small piece left over of 32 count Lugana from Fortnite. This is one where I had been using fancy flosses and didn't think about it and did the loop start, so you can't see any of the variegation, which is like a little annoying. But I've got a start for the house and the key. Okay. Yes, there is more. Right. I have... What do we have? Oh, Kind Kapal. Guys, do you love Nithya? Nithya also got me through these past several months. She often uploads on like a Sunday morning, and I'm just like, what a wonderful day to like quell the Sunday scaries. I'm just gonna sit here with Nithya and look at all of her beautiful projects and learn something and be inspired to do good in the world. One thing that I hope to be inspired to do is finish this salve that yeah. I don't remember the last time I worked on it. I know it was this year. I try to like do like a length of floss every time I work on it, or like knock out a chunk. I say this every time. I love doing the border pieces. I love the like geometric repetitive stitching. It's not always like my favorite visually, but it is the most fun to stitch. So I would say at least halfway through, if not more. Yeah, I'm pleased with this progress. I love all the different colored blues in here. It's a little hard to see on camera, but there's quite a few. I have like a whole bag of all of these different blues. I need to make more floss drops. Okay. There's that. Oh, this is of the season. I think I've worked on this one a little bit this year. This is Dee and Kari's 3 Little Hexes on a beautiful 32 count linen from, was it Color and Cotton? I think it was Color and Cotton. They did a grab bag a few years ago. And I love this purple so much. And I love these little guys on it. This is 1/1 stitching on linen. It is hard for me, especially with this black. I don't know. I have a hard time with it. But that was the only way at the time, the only way that I thought I could fit these guys on here. And I'm wondering if that was true, but frogging 1/1 is harder than stitching it. So we're just going to have teeny tiny little ghosties. I'm still deciding whether or not I want to fill the ghosts in themselves. This guy I had started filling in, and it's just, you can't really tell, but I just find these stitches so sloppy. So, I don't know. Like in a way where it's noticeable, not just like, oh, Carly, you're the only one who'll see that. Like, no, like it's gross. So, yeah, we'll see. It's not one I'm often drawn to stitch, not because I don't love the pattern. I just, I have to really be in a mood to do that 1/1 on this fabric, but I am obsessed with the fabric. It's gorgeous. Let's see. I still have more. Can you believe it? What's this one? I think I know what it is. Okay, this is Butterfly Garden by the Blue Flower. I lost this one for a minute, or I lost the pattern for a minute, but this is what the bluebird piece, the rest of it's on, right? No, that's a different fabric, never mind. Yeah, this is what I have so far. I'm not sure if I've stitched on it since I last showed it, but every time I go to pick it up, I'm missing the color I want to use, and it's hard for me, to try and start something here. I can't. I have to build off what's already on there, like just the way that my eyes are. Wow, this feels like a big piece. Yeah. So, and I try to do like the biggest colors and then work down smaller, if that's possible. And I just am often missing the floss that I need. Like, I even have it on a ring, and that's not all of them. So I gotta figure that out. They're so pretty though. This is like a very gentle, subtle piece. I think the colors feel more vivid on the pattern than they do in real life, which is fine. This is another one I kind of have to be in the mood for. It's not fun to stitch, but it's not really exciting to me. It's gorgeous though, and it's going to be really nice when it's done. All right, who are you? Is this? Okay, also very seasonally. Over the Garden Wall on a 32 count Lugana from Fortnite. This is a full coverage. I don't remember the name of the designer. It was a weird kind of purchase that you had to do through their Patreon, and then unsubscribe from the Patreon. If you have questions, let me know. But yeah, I think what I probably added since you last saw is we're starting the Horns of the Beast. This was a really great travel piece last summer. And this is still a show that I love very much, and I'm excited to have this piece finished. Okay. This one, interesting. New for me is one that I have identified as a restart. I've not restarted it yet. I don't even know, do I have the fabric? I don't have the piece of fabric that I had started stitching this on. Is that for real? Huh. Okay, I definitely did not unpick it yet, but okay, plans. I'm going to be stitching Scary Snowball by You and I and Friends on some 14 count Aida. That's so funny. I don't have the piece to show you. I was stitching it on, I think, a linen, and it just was so small, and I want like a big snowman. Like I want like puffy stitches. I want like big guy. Yeah, so you'll see that eventually. I promise it's a WIP. And then I have 4 more, and 2 are Mill Hills. All right, this is Star Village by Thistles. Thistles is one where I don't really know anything about the designer, but I love a lot of those patterns. Let me find the cover photo. Kodak. So good, right? I love stitching houses and Santa, and like moons with faces. That's my sweet spot. This is one I've been having a blast doing blends with. So it calls for fancy flosses, and I never kit anything up with fancy floss. Like if I have one that I can pull from stash that looks similar, I want to like swap out for it, great. But like the only thing I have kitted word for word is my Mirabilia. Not my Mirabilia, my Chatelaine. And yeah, sometimes the conversions that are given don't really match what the photo looks like, or even the colors that are like on the pattern don't match the photo. And I've just found it a lot easier to look at the conversion, the DMC conversion, pull that color, and then find another one to blend with it, or just abandon that and just find 2 colors to blend. Everything you see on here, with the exception of this grass, and I think this grass as well, is a blend. So the tree, the houses, they're all blends. And there's no like variegation or anything like that, but it creates a whole different color and just was so fun. That was such a fun creative challenge. This is stitched on a 32 count linen. I believe it's called Oatmeal, and I don't remember who dyed it. Sorry. probably picture this Plesser's Weigart. Those are really the main ones that I tend to work with. Okay, my last one, I'll show it just for fun. I haven't worked on it since the last time I showed it in a floss tube when I was like, I work on my Mirabilia every Wednesday. Oops, I didn't work on it this Wednesday, and then I haven't picked it up again. So, I'm doing, it's the Herb Garden one. I've spent so long I can't even remember the name. This is a 32 count linen. And this is my start. And the floss is so pretty. And I think I get a little, this is a piece I won't be able to wash afterwards because of all the fancy flosses. And so I have to like really get ready to stitch on this. A lot of my other stuff, like, I'll eat while I'm stitching. Like, I don't care. This one, the amount of money I spent on it and the just like how special it is for so many reasons, I can't actually touch it unless my hands are clean and pristine, which I should be doing with all my stitching, but whatever. That one is special. All right, my last two are Mill Hill kits. If you are my partner and you're watching this, you can look at the first one if you want, because it's for your mom, but you can't look at the second one because it's for somebody else. So this is the first one. This is my first time doing Mill Hills. I've been so curious for so long, and I really like them. They're so portable. It's just been a whole different experience. I haven't done any beading yet, on this one at least. I forgot I got highlighter on it. This is Winter Holiday. When I met my partner's mom, she brought me a beautiful envelope full of beautiful things from where my partner grew up, and so I wanted to kind of like remember that for this year, or like commemorate it, I guess. So this is on, what is it? It's on perforated paper. I don't know the count, but this is what I have so far. These colors, the whites and the blues, they look a lot very similar. So I had to unpick and restitch, and it's also difficult to unpick perforated paper. So I've put this one down for a minute, but I gotta pick it back up because winter is coming. And yeah, I'm using highlighter to track my progress on this, which I've never done before in a pattern. I don't use any marking at all, somehow. But this one I've had to highlight, and I did drop the highlighter on the white envelope, so can't win them all. Okay, my last WIP. If you're my partner, goodbye. I'll see you later. This is, oh, it's so pretty already. Oops, the other one is technically called Holiday Wishes. It's the Winter Holiday Collection, so Holiday Wishes. This one is Christmas lights. If you have seen the movie Desert Hearts, there is a line that a character uses, something like she reached into my heart and put a string of Christmas lights around it. And that's how I feel. And I have started stitching it for my partner because she's lovely and lights up my world. I've started putting the beads on it. Oh, it looks so good in person. Really tricky to show a Mill Hill on here, but trust me, it's dazzling. Okay, that's all my WIPs. Thank you for checking back in. And Milo says goodbye too. I'm going to cut it here to spare everybody's ears. All right. Bye, everyone.